Right here we have one of my personal favorite tanks, the Aspire BDC. Reason I like this tank so much is compared to other dual coil tanks, it's relatively inexpensive. For a tank that is not very big, it holds 3 milliliters of liquid, which is a pretty big reservoir. It holds a lot more than some of the much larger tanks. It's really great, really durable, and in my opinion, it's the best tank in the world for a winder battery. If you have a battery like this one that you can adjust from 3.2 all the way up to 4.8 volts, the Aspire BDC is the way to go. What I mean by a dual coil, let me show you. So it's a bottom feeding tank, and down here at the bottom we have a special type of atomizer. You'll notice it doesn't have the string that sticks out of the sides, and if you look through the top of it, you probably can't see through the camera, but you can actually look down in there and see 2 coils. So the advantage of having a dual coil is that it can support low voltage or high voltage. You get a longer life out of the coil, and the resistance will stay a little low so that you get a higher wattage off of the same voltage, which means more vapor, it'll last you longer, and just a great vape. So right now we're going to talk about filling the BDC tank. It's going to be very similar to a lot of the other bottom feeding tanks to fill it. The first step is going to be to remove the tank. So just like the other bottom feeding tanks, you want to get out of the habit of twisting them from the top, because if this tank was full of liquid and I twist from the top and this happens, all my liquid's going to dump out and make a mess and lose a lot of juice, and we don't want that to happen. So to remove the tank, you're going to grab it by the base piece with the little airflow holes, and we're going to twist it, making sure that the whole tank comes off. There we go. Once you remove the tank, you want to turn it upside down. Even if it's full of liquid, it shouldn't leak out on you. Then we're going to remove the base cap. Has the atomizer attached to it. We're going to set this piece down for now, and just like most of the other bottom feeding tanks, it has a tube that runs all the way through the center. When filling the tank, you want to be sure not to get any liquid in that tube in the center, or it'll run right through and down out the mouthpiece and make a mess. So best way to fill this tank is to tilt it to the side, take your liquid and aim the tip inside the tank, pointed towards the wall. We're going to gently squeeze the bottle so that the liquid runs down the side of the tank without getting in that tube in the middle. As you can see, it holds quite a bit of liquid. You want to fill it up so that the liquid does not go overboard and drop down into the tube in the middle. Might be a good idea to double check by looking through there, making sure that you don't see any liquid in the tube. So once you fill it up, we're going to take the base cap with the atomizer attached, and we're going to screw that back into the tank. And the rubber piece that's on the top of the atomizer is actually what seals the tube in the middle. So another important thing to keep in mind is that if there's any liquid on the top of this coil, on the top of the atomizer, you want to be sure to dry that off. Real easy to do on this one. I'm just going to take a napkin or paper towel, and we're just going to dab off the top of that atomizer. That way that rubber piece will be dry, and we'll have a good seal so that no liquid can get in the tube in the middle. So we've got our tank filled up and we're ready to go.